Hi third graders. Today we're going to go on to our next lesson in our textbook. It's 9.11 area and it can be found on page 322. Let's go ahead and get started reading from the top of the page. Jamie has a new picture. One way to describe its size is to give its area. Area is the number of square units needed to cover a surface. And they show us here what 1 square centimeter looks like. Square because it's in the shape of a square. Centimeter, remember the width of your pinky is about a centimeter. So we have 4 equal sides. They're each a centimeter long. So that makes it a square centimeter. You can count the number of square units to find the area. So we could count each one of these squares. Notice they're the same size as this pink square, the square centimeter right here to the left. It says the area of the picture is 36 square centimeters. So we could right now count each of these squares, and they've just told us that it would be 36 square centimeters. We would count 36 of them. Can anyone think of another way besides counting each individual square what the area of this picture would be, besides counting each individual one? If you said we have 6 going across down at the bottom, 6 going up and down, we know that 6 times 6 is what? That's right, 36. So we could quickly get this by multiplying the number of squares going across times the number of squares going up and down. Let's continue reading on the page, looking below to these orange squares. We have another figure, again square centimeters. Figures can have the same area but different perimeters. So let's talk about what that means. The area is 5 square centimeters, and we can easily see there are 5 orange squares. The perimeter is 10 centimeters. Let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is 10 centimeters going all around the perimeter. Then we'll come over here to the right. Again, we can clearly count 5 purple squares. So again, we have 5 square centimeters, but our perimeter is 12 centimeters around. Let's count it just to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So again, just by putting these in a different shape or a different form, the perimeter will change, even though we still have the same area for each figure. In these cases, it was 5 square centimeters each. If we go down below, it says cut out centimeter squares. Use them to cover each figure. So hopefully you have a piece of centimeter grid paper. And what I've done is I've just cut some of these out individually. So you can go ahead and do that. And then you can place the squares over the shape to see what the area is going to be. Now some of you might even be able to just take a look at this and figure it out from the one that I've placed here. You might be able to figure out what the area of this shape would be. But you can go ahead and count those out and try and figure out the areas for 1, 2, and 3. And then for 4 and 5, it says use grid paper. Again, draw a rectangle for each area and perimeter. Now let's look at number 4. It says area of 6 square centimeters, perimeter of 10 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of grid paper here, and I know that I have an area of 6 square centimeters. Think about what that shape might look like. It says draw a rectangle. We all know what a rectangle looks like. We have 2 longer sides, across from each other, and then 2 shorter sides across from each other. There's a rectangle right here for number 2. So an area of 6 square centimeters, perimeter of 10. Let me see how I can think about that. So 6 square centimeters. Let me see. That is a rectangle, not the neatest of rectangles, but it is a rectangle. Let's see if I have 6 square centimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then it says a perimeter of 10. So let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there we go. This rectangle that I've drawn fits the directions that they gave me for number 4. Let's see if you can figure out number 5, how you could draw another rectangle with, again, an area of 6 square centimeters. Now, it's not going to look like this one because this time they're telling us that the perimeter is 14 centimeters. So again, 2 rectangles, but they're going to have to look differently because you have different perimeters. Or you're going to have to draw them differently. Now let's go over to the next page, page 323, problem solving. And again, you can use your grid paper to help. And then you can just follow the directions for each one. These are going to be very similar to problem solving problems. You're going to have to read the information, think of a plan, maybe draw it on your grid paper, draw it out, or you can maybe even draw it in your math journal. That's another way that you could try and solve these. And then you can go ahead and let's look at right about it at the bottom. It says estimate which figure has the greater area. Check your answer. Explain the method you use to determine your answer. Again, estimate. We're making a guess, but it's a guess based on the information and looking at the pictures very closely. And think about which of these figures would have the greater area. And then number 10, again, you can use your grid paper if you have that. Use grid paper to draw as many different figures as you can that have an area of 10 square units. How many figures did you draw? Do you think there are more figures than you can draw that have an area of 10 square units? So let's try and draw maybe at least two different ones for number 10. Okay, third graders, you can go ahead and get started. I'll see you next time.